Hello friends, welcome to the creation of the legendary white boots, the White Knight of FALADOR, the legend of Asgarnia. Going forward into the game, wanting to take on this game with a bit of a role-playing aspect. A lot of this game can get tiring as you are chasing endgame goals that require endless hours of commitment and competing against people who just have more time than you. As a father of three, I love this game, but I am not able to pursue the same rankings as some other people, and so I take my own fun spin on the game, have my own fun way of taking it on. So when I give it the time I want to, I'm having fun shooting towards goals I feel are relevant. I feel a locked Ironman experience. I've loved Ironman, tying into the experience of my favorite armor set, the White Knight White Armor. So this character, as a loyal White Knight, will be progressing through, as you can imagine, being a White Knight. Anyone who has played the game knows, though, that there's only so much content within the White Knight quest line. You're essentially all set once you have done Slug Menace, and there's nothing to reach above there. Other than just being particularly locked in Asgarnia, part of the goals outside of the landlocked area are as follows: to hunt down particularly the enemies of the White Knights, the enemies of Saradomin, and to also acquire items that are relics to these traditions. Anything that is a Saradomin item, for example, at some point in the game is going to be obtainable by white boots. Whether this is the Saradomin sword, God sword, if we are looking even as far endgame as the Justicar armor, as far as the imagination can go. So, of course, this character is going to need to cover through a lot of prerequisites before they could get to, say, somewhere like the God Wars dungeon, or go fight Zamorakian warriors near the Orania altar. But this character will be able to unlock more spaces outside of Asgarnia as long as they are doing things that are related towards obtaining Saradomin items or completing the quests needed to unlock White Knight related material. So the White Knights obviously destroy the Black Knights, but also any Zamorakian followers. Zeros as well is definitely not to be trusted. Now, friends, allies of the White Knights, definitely not other kingdoms. White Knights are warring for power. They're not looking to cozy up to other places. And so you're looking to build your finances, your world with the White Knights. You will not do your banking anywhere outside of FALADOR. As you'll notice if you look at the map of the whole gameplay area, there's banking in one area if you are not looking at the Dwarven Mines. So other than the Dwarven Mines, you only have the city of FALADOR. A nice, polished, beautiful city. This is one of my favorite cities in the game, and I felt was also a city that can use a little bit of life, with that sometimes it being a dead zone for the lack of content other than the mole. But however, building a character around this will, however, lock them to using items that are restricted to this setting. Another thing that will be popping up is this character will not be able to use items that are, again, outside of being Saradomin or White Knight related. So that means the best crossbow for a really long time is going to be the Blue Right crossbow. Until white swords. Best sword is going to be that Blue Right sword. And white swords are going to be a thing for a while until a Saradomin ornament can be added to a ruined scimitar. We're looking at some serious devotion to get these items, folks. So to be able to achieve anything so for example, range armor. Range armor is typically not in any way White Knight, Saradomin. Cannot so easily get it until Clue Scrolls, so there will be literally no ranged armor until later in the game, unless it can be obtained from Clue Scrolls. I was thinking of making Blue D'Hide a possible option. Comment, let me know if you think Blue D'Hide could be an option for like early level, but I was thinking of just maybe just keeping it leather. I think leather armor, then Blue D'Hide armor, and then we'll bump it up to Saradomin armor for that tier. For Wizard's armor, of course, we're going with blue robes. You got blue robes. And then if you get the vestments building up, and then I think there also might be some other Saradomin magical items other than the obvious Saradomin staff. cape, so on and so forth. I thought about the diaries, and I feel the diaries require the character to go too much out of character. And so therefore, for now, though the diaries, the shield, the FALADOR is an interesting item, it's going to be shelved so that the character doesn't have to break the roleplay too much. A few areas that I've considered and that will be unlocked to include in Asgarnia, just for some accommodations. Up until level 50, you can't really train agility anywhere in FALADOR other than the rooftops course. So this character is going to have access to Drainer for that purpose. When this character is questing, they cannot stop to do any activity outside of the quest. So all mining, all crafting, all activities, even a loom, for example, a spinning wheel. So that means you cannot make bows as this character, leaning you towards crossbows. As you look around the city of FALADOR, you might find that a lot of the guards there use crossbows. The blue-right crossbow being the only blue-right weapon other than the blue-right sword in the game, leaning towards the crossbows, that's going to be our universe there. So upgrading through going towards god item crossbows. Considering if the character will use things like the Zamorakian spear, like Armadillo crossbow, again, let me know. The point is to, even if I somehow get these things, which, good amount of Ironman spear experience can lead towards it, weighing towards just keeping them as relics rather than allowing the character to use them. So again, the character can only use Saradomin or White Knight related items. And also I'm going to make it so the White Knight armor is the armor set until certain progressions are unlocked. Let me know in the comments what you think, if the progressions should be boss related, quest related. I was thinking definitely before the Initiate armor could be worn, for example. The Heroes quest is one of the biggest quests that can be found in the region. And then you also do have some other higher level quests that tie in, but again, wanting to stick to theme, not wanting to do quests that tie too much out, only going to other cities to complete tasks such as quests that are specific to that area, but are locked resources specific. So not going to go to FALADOR for the tea stalls, not going to go use the spinning wheel and Lumbridge, or you get the whole idea. These things are all off limits. Early beginning of the game, I did roleplay it as well. I'm just off the boat, ended off in this castle, going to do a quest for this Mad Cook, which does tie into quests that need to be done later into the development if you're looking at all the quests that technically tie in. But anyways, and also doing a little bit of mining to just get ready to go join the White Knights officially by doing the Knight Sword. Be a squire of a squire. What an excellent way to go through. So as we're doing this early version, we're going to be playing through a lot of the free version essential quests. And as I'm tying it to is anything that takes place. There's a quest that unlocks. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember what it is. It gets you in the free game, this island that has an ogre dungeon. And I said because this really brings you to Phillip Hills almost, the land of the ogres. And though the quest starts in Asgarnia in Remington, it doesn't really tie into the idea too well. So that quest will be skipped, but other ones that start and happen mainly within will be done on this character. One thing I thought about, do White Knights use magic? And they definitely do, as the White Knight staff is a buyable object, and that will be one of the first magical staffs the character will be going after. Up until then, it's just going to be what the character can craft up until iron. Skills to focus on in Asgarnia. Now, this character is going to look for progression in things, not just questing, item pursuing, but certain skills are very prominent. The major skills that are prominent are crafting-based skills, such as crafting, smithing, and mining. You have the mining guild, you have the crafting guild, and you also have the dwarves through the quest lines, through the role play. So many things to be found with the various dungeons in Asgarnia as well, tying back into this role play. The wilderness will also play a vital role in this experience. Here we're going to be able to see that there are plenty of evildoers to hunt down. It's going to be very interesting because this character might be quite leveled, but still battling things with the White Scimitar, the Wolfbane Dagger, things that are related to what the White Knight might use. Things like, for example, Priest in Peril need to be done, prerequisites for Wanted, so nothing will be done unless it is at the time seen as a prerequisite for something bigger. And if it's a goal like, let's say, like, FALADOR Shield level 4, that's a goal that's obviously very far away, has a lot of requirements, has a lot of out of region activity. Definitely going to hold off on. Something else, clue scrolls. Clue scrolls to strive towards Saradomin items. Monk robes. Monk robes, again, tie in very well. Anything that's a Saradomin item. The trimmed ones, the rune Saradomin armor. You want rune armor, it has to be rune Saradomin armor. No other way around. If you get a hard clue scroll, it's your only, or any other clue scroll, it's your only reason or permission to leave the region. Another thing to think about in the roleplay is that clue scroll hunting is going to be given permission as you join the order. We'll use one's progression through the White Knight system and through various bosses hunted or enemies killed. We'll keep track of certain enemies. In Rune Light, there is, and I believe also the regular game now has as well, plenty of ways to keep track of how many of certain enemies you have beaten, and we'll definitely keep track of some of the drops with these as well. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this video. We have already recorded a bunch of content, but this is the introduction on how this story is going to go. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We will be focusing on being on for World 333 for our activities in FALADOR if you want to come hang out. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you around on the channel.